Hey everyone! Welcome to this week's episode of Soul Toast.
The Johnny and Janaiah Show! Ooh.
All right, so this week we're starting it off with Janaiah in the know. So Janaiah, what do you know?
Oh my gosh, I know all the things, but
You know
today
all
I
the
will only
things?
be sharing, yes, I know all the things. Today I will be sharing only one of the things with the viewers.
All right.
April is Autism Awareness Month. That's what I know. Yes. And the whole month is dedicated. The purpose of this month, they recently added it to the calendar, April.
All right.
Is raising awareness around autism in hopes of creating more acceptance for people who are diagnosed with autism.
Right. Ooh, all right. I like it.
Yeah, so this is a big one for me because, as you know, but maybe some of our viewers do not, I have a 7-year-old son who's diagnosed severe on the autism spectrum. So autism is a big part of my world. And my shirt.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So basically we are raising autism awareness every day because we take our son out into the world and raise awareness just by allowing him to be who he is, to authentically live in this world the way that he feels most comfortable. And oftentimes that does provoke some questions, people who are curious and want to understand him a little better, which we are always welcoming. And we believe that education and awareness all go to the point of helping people like my son to be more accepted in this world.
Right.
But that being said, this is a big topic for me because when my son was first diagnosed, one of the things we got told a lot was, well, he doesn't look like he has autism. And as you know, autism doesn't actually have a specific look. It's a specific way that the brain works and a specific way of behaving and challenges that create that diagnosis. So this got me in the habit of realizing that we don't always know what anyone's dealing with. There's so many invisible diagnoses out there and invisible challenges and invisible differences. And so it sort of started what I would call like human awareness, where I sort of just started being like, we just don't know. So when I see like a toddler tantruming at the supermarket, I don't even need to know if they have a diagnosis or not to know that they're just having some big emotions they don't really know how to deal with, and wish them well.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to say to you, I mean, have you experienced situations where people kind of see, but they judge before actually knowing?
I have definitely received judgments. I've seen a few eyeballs roll in my day. My son, he's a big boy, and he has big feelings, and he's nonverbal, so he doesn't always know how to express those feelings. And that can sometimes create huge behaviors in the grocery store or out at the park. And I think probably more than I've seen people judging him is that people will sometimes judge me because I do have great techniques from a lot of behavioral therapists, from just my own parenting intuition. I know great ways to deal with it, but sometimes in the pinch of the moment and in the overwhelm or my just feeling like, oh, Lordy, let's just get through this day, instead of utilizing some of my techniques, I'll give them a lollipop. And that's when I can sometimes feel the
eyeballs.
The eyeballs. Like, oh, she did not just give that boy a lollipop.
Right.
And, and honestly, I've felt very supported. I feel very supported by my community, by the people around me, but I've seen social media attacks to others, or eyeballs in the grocery store, or huffs and puffs, or some of these, and I have never once said my son has autism or tried to make an excuse for his behavior. Right. And my reason for that is because it feels really important to me that we extend compassion to people that are struggling, regardless of whether we know why.
Right. Well, I think that's so important because I know for me, I've had, obviously a different perspective because mine's more on the outside. So I have seen many eye rolls and the stares and all of that. But it's interesting how, for you, it's not, I don't know how to say it. autism doesn't have the physical defining characteristics like I would. So people are looking at you thinking, oh my gosh, she just gave him a lollipop. She's rewarding that behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the things that we can see or we can't see, we're often comparing ourselves or thinking, I would handle that better. Or even if I had a child with a difference or a disability, I would never do this for them. And I would always make sure they did that. And we think we know what we would do in other people's shoes. We don't understand the day in and the day out. And we don't make, sometimes I just want to say, I'm not that good at this. Which isn't even true. I actually feel like I'm a really great mother, and I'm wonderful with my son.
Yeah.
But I'm allowed to be out at the grocery store and make the wrong move.
Right.
And so sometimes I just feel like it gets tiring to have to excuse my son and myself to always. And I think people are watching more when you do have a challenge where it's just like, well, this is how I would deal with that situation I know nothing about, and it's like, at the end of the day, we really don't know what it's like to be in anyone else's shoes. And so when I see, behaviors or somebody with an obvious challenge or somebody just acting out in a way that I think, what is happening here? I try to act from compassion and kindness. I think we will never be aware. There's all the awareness ribbons.
Right.
I mean, there's only 12 months in the year, so there's got to be a million things that we're not being represented.
Right.
Right? And we're never going to be able to truly have all the awareness. And there's a quote, if you know one child with autism, you know one child with autism, because they're all so very different. So in some ways,
I like that.
In some ways, awareness has been helpful. In other ways, because the spectrum's so huge, people get it in their head that it's a certain way and that there's a certain way to deal with it, and can then become judgmental because of that. Right. So understanding the spectrum's huge in just this one diagnosis, and there's thousands of diagnoses out there. Every person you're passing on the street is living something you know nothing about. Right. And so I love Autism Awareness Month because I do love getting the chance to share some of the, behaviors you might see. What is stimming? What is this? What is that? What's it like to be nonverbal? To get a chance to talk about that. But I also think it's so important that we remember that we should just treat people. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. I like it. And I think it's so true that
they should devote a month to that.
Why can't we just have a whole year of awareness of don't be an asshole?
Don't be an asshole awareness year round. We need to make a ribbon for that.
We should.
Okay, if you want us to make a don't be an asshole ribbon.
Ooh, I like it. How many people want don't be an asshole year? But it really is so true, because there's so much awareness for this, awareness for that, a ribbon for this, a ribbon for that. And I think it's great, like you were saying, for people to be aware of these facts and all of that. But, ultimately it is about being kind. You don't need to know all the details of every single disorder and disability that's out there. Just come from a place of compassion. I think that's what it's all about. And of course, don't
love. Yes. We got to get on that ribbon.
We have to.
What else do we got for today, Johnny?
All right. Well, there's something I want to talk about, and I think it kind of goes with this. I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and we were talking, it was a little bit more spiritual, because we were talking about, shamanic practices and drumming and journeying. And so then he says to me, well, what about astral projection? Do you believe in that? And I'm like, astral what?
Astral come again?
What's up? And so it kind of got me thinking, because I, don't really believe in it. I don't know all the facts, but to me, it's not something that vibes with me. So it really got me to think about the bigger question of, what do you believe in? And how do we believe in things? Of course, we have like the more concrete things of science, and 2 + 2 is 4. There's no way around that.
Is this John?
But, if we have these other topics, what I always tell people is, okay, I want you to research it, explore it, see if it feels right to you, and then decide, is this something that I believe in? Does that make sense?
Yes. And that goes along with how I feel about belief as well, because I think there's black and white truths. Like there's like, it's true or it's not true. It's like gravity. I have tried really hard to stop believing in it and levitate, and it's not working out for me, no matter what I believe. There are things, there are laws, there are universal truths that just are. But then there's areas of gray, and within those areas of gray, the belief creates it to be true or not.
Right.
Right? So when you believe it, when it resonates with you, and I think we're digging deep within ourselves to learn what innately do we believe, because it's very hard to create a belief that you don't internally have.
Yes.
So
and I think we have to question everything.
Yeah.
I don't think that, just because your friend believes in this, oh, well, then that's what I should believe in. Well,
Right.
no, question it, research it. Is this something that feels right to you?
Right. And uncovering like your true feelings about it. Does it resonate with you?
Right.
And then there's a quote. What is the quote and whose is it? Here's the test for you. There's a quote, whether you believe it to be true or not, you're right.
Yep.
That's the quote. Who says it? I feel like it's a smart person.
Well, I'm feeling like it could be a guy. However, I'm also like 50% sure it could be a female.
Wow. Okay, I feel like it's like Einstein or Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody like way back then.
Yeah, so if you know who it is, drop it in the comments. But it's whether,
yes.
How do I say the quote again? Whether you believe it to be true or not, you're right.
Yes.
And that's about doing something, about what you believe for yourself. And I'm so much about what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about, something. There's the placebo effect, which is, there's placebo effect in general, but Dr. Joe Dispenza wrote the book, The Placebo Effect. And he's done a lot of scientific research on what we believe can actually change our DNA. It can change the way that our muscles respond to things. It can change like the whole structure of our body. We can actually believe things that, affect, from our DNA to our muscles, to our cells, to every other part of us. That's insane. So belief in and of itself, but can you manufacture belief, Johnny? Can you?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So like, for instance, me, I don't like get supercharged about crystals, which is something you have a lot of belief in.
Oh yeah.
So if I have the desire to resonate with crystals, if I have the desire to believe in their abilities, because they have certain abilities, right?
Yes, they do. And with crystals, it does tie in. There is a little bit of science to it. We won't bore the audience with all of it, but it is the law of resonance. When something enters your energetic field, the vibrations interact with other vibrations and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. But I think it comes down to whether you are open. Because if you are one of those people that goes, no, that's bad, I can't think that way, you're automatically closing yourself off. So in a way, if you were to experience something the brain has already committed to, nope,
so
not
me. Saying there is like there's been scientific proof that shows that crystals can create certain cellular reactions within yourself, but that you can actually stop that cellular reaction because of your belief that it doesn't work.
Right.
Pretty phenomenal. So when we get into areas of belief, like it's huge. We're reacting on a different cellular level based on our belief, which then causes the things around us to react on a different cellular level. And a great for instance of that is if I come up to you and I'm like, I'm a life coach, I couldn't help but overhear you were struggling. I'm thinking that I may be able to share some things that I kind of might know that could maybe help a little. I'm not sure, you tell me. As opposed to like, I'm a life coach and I overheard what you said and I know I can help you.
Right.
Your belief in my abilities, because of my belief in my abilities, is going to cause a chain reaction of my abilities working for you.
Yes. So then here's this question.
Ooh.
Does belief shape our character of who we are?
Yes.
Because by questioning, like we talk about, question everything and see if it resonates for you. Well, in doing so, you're exploring who you really are.
It's like that process of unbecoming to get to the source of what is true for you.
Yeah.
And so that I ask, did I really bend the spoon, Johnny? I wish I had a spoon for this.
I know, that would have been good. Well, it's close enough.
All right, where are we at with this? Have we covered all of the bases? Have we enlightened the people? I could go on for days and years about the power of belief.
Yes.
Because it's its own force, but it's also like a discovery.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think today is really all about that area of gray. Not everything's black and white.
Right.
Not everything is right or wrong, of course, with the exception of like if you drive off a cliff, you probably won't survive. But what it all boils down to is be kind and see if it resonates for you. Does it work for you? And just be kind to everyone else.
Yeah, be kind or else.
And prepare yourself for what's coming. The year of don't be a what?
Asshole!
Well, it's great. So I think what we should tell the people is if they have something that's really on their mind for a topic and they want us to discuss it, drop it in the comments below. And if you're a little too shy or it's a little risque, we will put our email address in the description below and you can send it by email.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, don't let the people down. Let's make this our most awkward sign off of all.
All right. Should we pretend like we're frozen? But surprise, we're not.
That was kind of fun.
That was kind of fun. People be like, wait, what happened to the video? All right, let's see. Where is this? Awkward. All right, bye, people.